Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife, and today I have a Bible journaling process video for you. I am working through the Just As He Said devotional written by Haley Mullins, and today I'm going to be journaling in the book of John, specifically focusing on the story of Thomas encountering Jesus after the resurrection. I have some inks pulled out. I'm planning on using some stenciling and some stamping. I will make sure to list everything that I use down below so you can check out those resources if you would like. All right, I'll put you guys on fast forward. Let's go. To start off this page, I'm going to use the Tattered Rose Distress Oxide and a blending brush to just add a bit of color to the back of the page. Not really worried about it being even. I just want to add a little bit of color because I'm going to do some tone on tone stenciling. And that is one of my favorite ways to create a really soft background for a page because it's very subtle and I just love the effects. So adding the Tattered Rose all across the page, I'm planning on there being a nice big cluster of different stickers and cutouts in the middle, and the stenciling will be behind it. So this is Pixie Spray, and you spray it on the back of your stencil, let it dry for about a minute, and then stick it down, and it keeps the stencil super flat, which makes it really easy to work with the stencil. It peels right up. It does not leave residue on your page at all, but it really helps the stencil stay in place, and I love using it. It really helps me get a crisp image from my stencils when I'm blending. Okay, I've pulled out the second stencil now, and I'm going to use the Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide. You can see I have these two tags pulled that are going to be clustered in the middle, and I want to add this just real light. This is a really rich color, and so I wanted to be super careful. It looks pretty vibrant now, but once I add the other pieces, it'll really blend nicely, and it goes really well with the colors of the kit. So pulling that up, cleaning off my stencil before it gets messy and gets on all of the things, and also cleaning off my blending brush with my Lawn Fawn stamp chamois. All right, so I have these two tags. They are in my stash. They are Felicity Jane tags. I have no idea what Felicity Jane kit they're from, but just tags in my stash. And now I've pulled out the stamp set and I'm adding even more texture and dimension to the back by using this second leaf stamp, so that I'm back at the Tattered Rose and just adding a little bit more dimension and bringing out the image just a bit more because too much of it was being covered up by the tag. So now I've added that, and my tags can nestle right there in the middle with all of the stenciled image coming from behind. So one of the first stories of the Bible that I thought about when I was reading this particular devotional would be the story of Thomas, and how Thomas was not there the first time that Jesus reappeared to the disciples, and he had trouble believing because he was still in the dark. He had not experienced the peace that Jesus brought to the disciples the first time that he reappeared, and so he had trouble believing. And sometimes I feel like he gets a bad rap as doubting Thomas, when really that's going to be a reaction that most of us have experienced, and most of us will experience again and again in our lives. Because when you are in the dark, it is hard to take that step to put yourself out there, to reach out and believe that you're going to be able to get out of that darkness. And so I wanted to really kind of reflect on his story, to think about what Jesus said in reaction. And Jesus said to him, "Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." And that's something that we continue to work on, I believe, as Christians, because we haven't seen. It was the disciples had seen Jesus, had been there with him, and we have not been there yet, but we've seen Jesus work in our lives in various ways. So while we may not have seen him in the flesh, we have seen the product of his goodness throughout our lives. And sometimes you need to hold on to those times so that the next time that you are in the darkness, in this waiting period, that you can use that as your guide, as your kind of light in that darkness. I've been using the alpha stickers and the word fetty stickers to create my title for this entry, which is "He is faithful despite the dark." And sometimes, like I said, it can be hard to remember when you're in the dark. And that's kind of the story of Thomas. He was in the dark. He was trapped in the darkness and the loss of his Savior. And he just had trouble believing. But the truth is, Jesus is faithful all the time. Now I'm playing with layering these stickers and adding to this large cluster that I have going on in the middle of my page. And I think stickers are a really fun way to play with layering techniques because you can change up the order of them. I mean, they stick and unstick. These are really high quality stickers. And it can just be a really fun way to practice your layering. So I'm putting stickers all over with these tags, some on the top, some below, and then I'm going to kind of extend the stickers out. So I have the full cluster right there in the middle, but I didn't want it to be so tight. So I like to have them kind of exploding out, you might say. I loved the sticker "Come and See," which is kind of what Jesus was calling Thomas to do, like come and see for yourself. And then Jesus calls for us to come and see even when we can't see, like come and believe, adding the word faithful tucked right under there. And now the hearts that'll kind of flow out from the tag cluster in the middle. I love the wonky hearts. They've got to be my favorite part of each kit. Like I would just have sticker sheets and sticker sheets of wonky hearts, and I think I would still end up using them all on every kit. Now I'm coming back with my Uniball gel pen and I'm going to trace all of the alphas in the title just so that they pop off a little bit more. That's a really bright yellow and it was kind of blending in with the gray. So I wanted them to pop really nicely. And then I will also be tracing the hearts, the wonky hearts that are floating away from the cluster in both directions just to bring a little bit more black into the page. And I also pull out this tiny little floral alpha, and I think it is so adorable and so cute. And I'm using some black ink to kind of add, like I said, a little bit more black to the page. There's black in that plaid tag, and so I wanted to bring that in just a little bit more. So adding a few of those little clusters, little flowers throughout the page, and then I'm really pleased with how this side of the spread has come out. Next, I want to take my attention over to the left side where I'll start by underlining the verses that I was focused on, which again is in John 20, kind of the end of John 20 when we hear the story of Thomas. So I'll underline those verses. I could have left it like that, but I have all of these gorgeous stickers, so why not use them? I'm going to stick "Promises Remembered" right up here. I'll have to restick because it gets a little bit too wonky for my taste, so making that really straight. And then I'm going to go with the phrase "He is trustworthy." And there's a stamp that says "He is" that you can use, and I thought I was going to use that, but what I ended up wanting to do is use the alpha letters again, just to bring some yellow onto that side of the page. So I have "He is" in the alphas, and then "trustworthy" in the word fetty. And then to match it up, I'll come back and do some outlining. This is one of my favorite techniques. I just really think it makes these alpha letters pop off super nicely. I'm just loving the outlining of the stickers. I like it a lot. And after I do that, I'm almost done, but I really wanted to add some hearts or something, and I didn't want to stick with just the blue hearts. So I pull out my scissors and I'm going to very carefully fussy cut out the outline of the heart stickers that I have already used. And this is a great way to really get everything you can out of these sticker sheets because now I have this little outline heart sticker that is super cute that I can layer with my other hearts. And so I'll just keep doing that, and I fill up the left side of the page with these heart layers, and then I decide to go ahead and keep cutting them out and use a few on the right side as well. So just an idea, if you are a lover of the wonky hearts like I am and you cannot get enough, then you can actually get 2 stickers out of each one of these when you cut out the outlines. Once I finish with those hearts, then that will be the end of this page. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Make sure to check out all of the videos over here on the Creative Retreat channel. My creative team members are fantastic and you are just going to love everything that they create. So make sure to check out all of the other videos as well. I have linked supplies down below if you are interested in checking those out. Otherwise, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.